Hi, welcome back to Panic Butter. This is Tony. Hey, glad you could join me tonight. We got a great lineup for you. We're going to take you all the way from the 12 Devil's Graveyards. Yep, you heard it right. To the Old World's Fair. Vile Vortex, you ever heard of that? And a few others. Sit back, get ready. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join me. Are you ready? Here we go.
The 12 Devil's Graveyards around the world. In 1970, British scientist Ivan T. Sanderson unveiled a startling theory. He identified 12 regions around the world where mysterious and unexplained phenomena seem to concentrate. These areas, dubbed the Devil's Graveyards, have become infamous for strange disappearances, electronic malfunctions, and bizarre occurrences. Today, we embark on a journey to explore these enigmatic regions and uncover the secrets they hold. Ivan T. Sanderson was a pioneering scientist with a keen interest in the unexplained. His research led him to believe that these 12 regions form a geometric grid around the Earth, aligning with both natural and human-made landmarks. Join us as we delve into the mysteries of the 12 Devil's Graveyards around the world. The Bermuda Triangle. Our journey begins in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, within the boundaries of the infamous Bermuda Triangle. This area, roughly delineated by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been the site of countless mysterious disappearances of ships and aircraft.
Oh yeah, a lot goes on there.
The Bermuda Triangle has given rise to numerous theories, ranging from natural explanations like methane hydrates and rogue waves to more exotic hypotheses involving extraterrestrial activity and parallel dimensions. Despite extensive research, the true cause of these phenomena remains elusive. The Devil's Sea, Dragon's Triangle. Next, we travel to the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of Japan, to explore the Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle. This region mirrors the Bermuda Triangle with its own history of vanishing vessels and aircraft. Japanese legends speak of dragons and sea monsters inhabiting this area, while modern researchers point to volcanic activity and unusual magnetic disturbances as potential explanations. The Vile Vortex theory. Ivan T. Sanders' Vile Vortex theory posits that these 12 regions are points on a planetary grid where Earth's electromagnetic forces are particularly strong or anomalous. These vortices, spaced evenly around the globe, are believed to influence both natural and human phenomena. The Algerian megaliths. In the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, Algeria, stand the enigmatic Algerian megaliths. These ancient stone structures are surrounded by reports of unexplained electromagnetic anomalies and disorientation experienced by those who approach them. The purpose and origins of these megaliths remain shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation and intrigue. The Indus Valley. The Indus Valley, encompassing parts of modern-day Pakistan and northwest India, was home to one of the world's earliest urban civilizations. Here, we find accounts of mysterious disappearances and odd magnetic readings. The sudden decline and abandonment of major cities like Mohenjo-Daro continue to puzzle researchers, hinting at catastrophic events possibly linked to the Vile Vortices. The Hamakulia Volcano. On the islands of Hawaii, the Hamakulia volcano is known for its intense volcanic activity, which can interfere with electronic equipment and cause navigational issues. Native Hawaiian legends speak of supernatural events and spirits associated with the volcano, adding another layer of mystery to this vile vortex. The South Atlantic Anomaly. In the South Atlantic Ocean, near the coast of Brazil, lies the South Atlantic Anomaly. This region is characterized by a weakened magnetic field, affecting satellite and spacecraft operations. Electronic malfunctions and radiation exposure issues for satellites passing through this area highlight the unique challenges posed by this vile vortex. The Wharton Basin. The Wharton Basin, situated in the Indian Ocean between Australia and Indonesia, is another of Sanders' identified vile vortices. Reports of underwater anomalies and strange occurrences abound in this region. Unusual seismic activity and magnetic disturbances have been documented, contributing to the area's mystique. The North Pole. At the top of the world, the North Pole has long been associated with navigational difficulties and unexplained phenomena. Compasses behaving erratically and unusual atmospheric conditions are just some of the challenges faced by explorers in this enigmatic region. The South Pole. In the remote expanse of Antarctica, the South Pole presents another Vile Vortex. Researchers have reported mysterious energy readings and climatic anomalies in this frozen frontier. The extreme environment and remoteness of the South Pole make it a unique and challenging area for scientific study. The Mohenjo-Daro ruins. Mohenjo-Daro, an ancient city in the Sindh province of Pakistan, was one of the largest settlements of the Indus Valley civilization. Evidence of sudden destruction and unexplained phenomena at this site suggest a possible connection to the Vile Vortices. Theories of cataclysm and mysterious events continue to intrigue researchers and historians alike. The Gobi Desert. The Gobi Desert, spanning Mongolia and northern China, is known for its harsh environment and reports of vanishing caravans. Supernatural forces and strange occurrences are often cited in local folklore, adding to the desert's enigmatic reputation. The Devil's Triangle of Japan. Near Okinawa, Japan, lies another region known as the Devil's Triangle. Similar to the Bermuda Triangle, this area has reports of missing ships and aircraft. Underwater geological activity and magnetic anomalies are among the possible causes explored by researchers. Conclusion. Ivan T. Sanderson's exploration of the 12 Devil's graveyards around the world remains a captivating and controversial topic. His identification of these regions and the patterns of mysterious phenomena associated with them continue to intrigue both the public and the scientific community. While many of the explanations for these phenomena remain speculative, Sanderson's work has paved the way for further research and exploration into the unknown forces at play in these enigmatic areas of our planet. The mysteries of the 12 Devil's graveyards endure, challenging our understanding of the world and inviting us to seek out the truth. Join us next time as we continue to explore the mysteries of our world and beyond. Until then, stay curious and keep questioning.
That's pretty deep. There's a lot going on there. If you watch it all and you listen to it and you do some research, you thought about a lot, linked it together, wrote about it. And it's pretty cool. What do you think? Check it out. Let me know. Where are we going now? Another conspiracy. Chupa Chupa. You ever heard of that? Yep, me either. We're about to though. Here we go.
The most chilling UFO conspiracy theories from the 70s, the Chupa Chupa, the eerie UFO sightings in Brazil. In the late 1970s, the Amazonian regions of Brazil were gripped by a terrifying conspiracy. UFOs known as Chupa Chupa, or Suck Suck. This conspiracy theory suggests these lights were from extraterrestrial origins. Villagers described these UFOs chasing them down with powerful beams. The conspiracy theory grew stronger as the Brazilian Air Force launched Operation Saucer to investigate. Drop your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like and follow Clue Quest for more mysterious tales and epic conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot there, but that needs more research. Sounds like what's going on right now. Just without all the cameras and in the past, not current. Kind of crazy. Let's look at something different. Where are we at now? You have never seen or thought about this. Well, you probably saw it, but you never thought about it. Until now. Here we go.
I want to show you guys something that I don't think a lot of you are ready for. And it all has to do with that little prong on this alligator's head. That little prong that looks an awful lot like the 900-foot tall Devil's Tower in Wyoming. An awful lot like it. And when you go and take a look at the surrounding geography of the Devil's Tower, you see something that looks an awful lot like an alligator's head. Down to its eye, and even down to an alligator claw. An alligator claw that is really quite unmistakable when compared to a real living alligator claw. So much so that when you compare the entire arm of an alligator to what we see in the geography by the Devil's Tower, it's really quite clear. And when you do a side-by-side of the alligator's head and the alligator's entire head in the geography of the terrain, it becomes even more clear that what we're actually seeing here isn't some rock formation and isn't some ancient giant petrified tree, but the remnants of a giant scale or even horn that used to be on a massive pre-flood alligator. And when you compare its shape to the shape of a rhino horn and the base of a rhino horn and even the consistency of a rhino horn, you start to get a glimpse of what this really was and how massive things used to be. Because just the head alone of this massive alligator was 3.25 miles. So next time you hear someone talking about how they know the Devil's Tower is an ancient petrified tree, send them my way. Because I think this is almost to the point it's undeniable. But as always, this was just for shits and gigs. I know that there's no such thing as ancient, giant, massive animals that used to roam this level flat earth we live on. All for entertainment purposes. Have a nice day.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining, huh? Go check it out. Bring up Google Earth, zoom in, and see what you see. It's pretty cool. You'll like it. Yeah, it's put together great and it's well thought out. But, if it's real, that's the question. Was it real? How could it be? Wow. I don't know. What do you think? Let's move on. Here we go.
History that we've been force-fed since day one and rip it right in half. So here we go. The photo description states that in the summer of 1903, construction continues inside the entrance to the Palace of Machinery for the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, the 1904 World's Fair. The date of this photo is in 1903. The fair in St. Louis was in 1904. So this would all make perfect sense, except there's a massive flaw. A flaw so big that it's undeniable proof that this building was constructed 100 years before the 1903 date that we are told, and proof that there was a mud flood that ripped through this building at some point after 1803. Where is the foundation of this building? Incredibly detailed construction projects do not take place on top of dirt and garbage. This, in my opinion, is the most incredible photo that I have ever seen to this point. A lie right in our faces, saying that this was being built in 1903, when we have multiple dates of 1803, time-stamped right on the building. Multiple times. Not only that, but you can see that the mud flood damaged the bottom of this building here. The mud came after the construction, not before. And I want to make that point very clear. This is a cleanup project, 100%. After this World's Fair, they knocked these buildings down. Not because they were pathetic, but because they held dates that do not fit in our mainstream timeline and architecture that we cannot reproduce today. It's incredible. I've been talking to many people, engineers, construction workers, architects, and more about this photo. They are telling me that this is undeniable proof. And at this point, there isn't an excuse in the book that could save the mainstream history. It's time for everyone to wake up to the nonsense that we have all been force-fed to believe. Oh, and we're just getting started today. Welcome to episode 49 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new,
That was cool, huh? Construction and designers of the past. Way better than they are today. What do you think? We got one more. Doesn't look nothing like that though. Up next, MK Ultra. Have you ever heard about it? It's from the past. Started in the 70s. But does it still happen today? Here we go.
The Cold War, a time of spies, secrets, and a silent battle for global dominance. America, facing the Soviet Union, searched for new weapons. Not just bombs and bullets, but weapons of the mind. This was the genesis of MKUltra. MKUltra, launched by the CIA in the 1950s, was shrouded in secrecy, its goal to control the human mind. The CIA believed that communist adversaries were using brainwashing techniques, and they wanted to fight fire with fire. The program's existence remained hidden from the public, a testament to the paranoia and fear that gripped the nation. The CIA poured millions into MKUltra, funding research at universities, prisons and hospitals. Few knew the true nature of their work. Subjects, often unwitting participants, became pawns in a dangerous game. The line between ethical research and dangerous experimentation blurred. Two figures loom large in the MKUltra story: Alan Dulles and Sidney Gottlieb. Dulles, the CIA's first director, was a man who believed the ends justified the means. He saw mind control as a necessary evil, a weapon to combat communism. Gottlieb, a chemist with a brilliant mind and a chilling detachment, was the program's mastermind. He oversaw the research, pushing the boundaries of science and ethics. Under his direction, MKUltra explored a range of mind-altering techniques, from hypnosis to LSD. Gottlieb's experiments were often cruel and inhumane. Subjects, including CIA agents, soldiers and civilians, were given LSD without their knowledge or consent. The results were devastating, leading to psychological trauma, addiction, and even death. MKUltra's experiments were as varied as they were unethical. One track explored the effects of LSD, believing it could be used for mind control or truth serum. Subjects were given the drug in various settings, their reactions observed and documented. The results were unpredictable and often terrifying. Another area of interest was hypnosis. The CIA believed they could use hypnosis to create sleeper agents, individuals who could be programmed to carry out assassinations or other covert operations. These experiments often involved intense psychological manipulation, leaving subjects with lasting emotional scars. Beyond LSD and hypnosis, MKUltra delved into other forms of mind control. Researchers explored the use of electroshock therapy, sensory deprivation, and even psychic phenomena. The program became a catch-all for anything that might give the CIA an edge in the Cold War. For years, MKUltra remained hidden from the public. But in the 1970s, a series of events brought the program to light. Congressional hearings, investigative journalism, and the release of classified documents exposed the CIA's dark secret. The revelations shocked the nation. Americans were horrified to learn that their government had been experimenting on its own citizens without their knowledge or consent. The scandal shook public trust in the CIA and raised serious ethical questions about the limits of government power. Despite the public outcry, the full extent of MKUltra's activities remains unknown. The CIA, under Gottlieb's orders, destroyed many of the program's records. The true number of victims and the long-term consequences of the experiments may never be fully understood.
The Cold War was a scary time, man. It was like this, the US and the Soviet Union, both with nukes, were staring each other down. Nobody wanted to start a shooting war, but everyone was edgy, like really edgy. The Soviets were pushing communism. The US was all about capitalism. It was this ideological battle, a real clash of the titans. Both sides were spying on each other, trying to get a leg up. Espionage was rampant. Think spies, double agents, and all that cool cloak and dagger stuff. There was a constant fear of infiltration. No one knew who to trust. It was a time of suspicion and paranoia. People were looking over their shoulders, worried about the enemy within, and the worst fear that the enemy could control your mind. Mind control, dude. Think about it. The idea that someone could make you do their bidding against your will. Total mind trip, right? During the Cold War, this wasn't just science fiction. It was a real fear. People were terrified that the Soviets had cracked the code on mind control. There were rumors of brainwashing, truth serums, and all sorts of crazy stuff. Imagine being a soldier and not knowing if you were fighting for your country or because someone had messed with your head. This fear wasn't entirely unfounded. The Soviets were doing their own experiments, messing around with mind-altering techniques. The US had to do something, right? They couldn't just sit there and wait to be mind-controlled. That's where MKUltra came. The US government was like, we need to fight fire with fire, so they went full-on secret agent mode and created MKUltra. It was the CIA's top-secret mind control program. Super hush-hush, man. MKUltra's goal? To weaponize the human mind. They wanted to create the perfect spies, soldiers who wouldn't crack under pressure, maybe even assassins who didn't know they were assassins. They poured millions of dollars into this thing, funding all sorts of experiments. We're talking about universities, hospitals, even prisons. They were everywhere, man. And it was all off the books. No oversight, no accountability, just a bunch of guys in suits doing whatever they wanted. It was a dark chapter in American history, but hey, it was the Cold War. Everyone was doing shady stuff, at least that's what they told themselves. Section 4, Unethical Experiments in Unwitting Subjects. Here's where things get really messed up. MKUltra's experiments were straight out of a horror movie. They were dosing people with LSD, hypnotizing them, using electroshock therapy, the whole 9 yards. And the worst part, most of the subjects had no idea what was happening to them. They were unwitting participants in the CIA's twisted games. Some were patients with mental health issues, others were prisoners, even regular folks just looking for a good time. They were messing with people's minds, man, and not in a good way. The long-term effects of these experiments were devastating. Some people suffered permanent psychological damage, others committed suicide. It was a total nightmare. Section 5, Fallout and Ramifications. Eventually, word got out about MKUltra. People started asking questions. The government tried to cover it up, of course. They destroyed most of the records. But the truth always has a way of coming out, you know? Congressional hearings were held, people were outraged. The CIA was dragged through the mud. It was a huge scandal, and rightfully so. MKUltra was a massive violation of human rights. The whole thing left a stain on the CIA's reputation. It made people question the government's power, and it raised serious ethical questions about the limits of scientific research. Section 6, MKUltra's lingering shadow. MKUltra might be over, but its shadow still hangs over us. It's a reminder that even the most powerful governments are capable of terrible things. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of ethical boundaries in science. The program might have officially ended, but the questions it raised haven't gone away. Were they able to achieve mind control? Are there still secret programs going on right now? We may never know the full truth about MKUltra, and that's what makes it so terrifying. It's like, what if they're still out there, man, watching us, controlling our thoughts? Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, makes you think. Think about this. There's more.
MKUltra encompassed a wide array of experiments, many of which were conducted without the consent of the subjects. These experiments included the administration of LSD and other drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, and verbal and sexual abuse. The goal was to break down individuals' psyches and control their minds. Universities, hospitals, and prisons across the United States and Canada were often unwitting participants in these experiments. Institutions like Harvard, Stanford, and McGill University were drawn into the web of MKUltra, where subjects were exposed to extreme and often inhumane conditions in the name of research. Sidney Gottlieb was the chief architect of MKUltra. A chemist by training, Gottlieb's expertise and ruthlessness made him the ideal candidate to lead these experiments. He was responsible for many of the program's most controversial and extreme practices. 1957 to 1964, a Scottish psychiatrist named Dr. Donald Ewan Cameron was paid $69,000 to travel from New York to Canada to perform MKUltra experiments at McGill University history shows. Cameron's work left many patients permanently damaged. These key figures, along with others within the CIA, played pivotal roles in the development and execution of MKUltra. MKUltra posed profound ethical and moral dilemmas. The program violated basic human rights, conducting experiments without informed consent and often against the will of the subjects. The psychological and physical toll on the individuals involved was immense, with many suffering long-term consequences. The use of vulnerable populations, such as prisoners and psychiatric patients, further compounded the ethical breaches. This dark chapter in American history raises significant questions about the limits of scientific inquiry and the moral responsibilities of those in power. The legacy of MK Ultra serves as a stark reminder of the importance of ethical standards in research and government practices. In 1975, the Church Committee, a U.S. Senate Select Committee, began investigating abuses by the intelligence community, including MK Ultra. The revelations about the program's unethical practices shocked the nation. Sidney Gottlieb had destroyed many documents related to MK Ultra, but enough evidence remained to expose the horrifying truth. The hearings brought to light the extent of the CIA's involvement in human experimentation and the widespread violations of human rights. The public outcry and media coverage led to increased scrutiny of the intelligence community and calls for greater oversight and accountability. The legacy of MK Ultra is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked governmental power and the ethical boundaries of scientific research. The program has influenced countless conspiracy theories and remains a potent symbol of governmental overreach and the violation of human rights. The lessons learned from MK Ultra emphasize the need for transparency, accountability, and ethics in both government and scientific research. This dark chapter in American history serves as a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge must never come at the expense of human dignity and rights. MK Ultra stands as a stark reminder of the perils that arise when the pursuit of knowledge is divorced from ethical considerations. Conceived in an era marked by fear and paranoia, this clandestine program represents one of the darkest chapters in American history. The unethical experiments conducted under its banner shattered lives and left an indelible scar on the collective conscience of the nation. The sheer audacity of MK Ultra's objectives, to control and manipulate the human mind, raises profound ethical and moral questions. The methods employed, from the administration of potent hallucinogens to psychological torment, were not only extreme but also fundamentally inhumane. These experiments, often conducted without consent, violated the basic rights and dignity of countless individuals, many of whom suffered lasting psychological and physical damage. The revelations of MK Ultra's abuses, brought to light by the Church Committee in the mid-1970s, exposed the extent of the CIA's disregard for human rights. The destruction of many documents by Sidney Gottlieb and others highlights the desperate attempts to conceal the truth, underscoring the clandestine nature of the program. As we reflect on MK Ultra, we are confronted with the consequences of unchecked governmental power and the importance of transparency and accountability. This program serves as a grim reminder that the ends do not always justify the means. The pursuit of national security must never come at the expense of our humanity. The legacy of MK Ultra is a powerful testament to the need for stringent ethical standards in research and the vigilant protection of human rights. In the end, MK Ultra is not just a story of government overreach, it is a cautionary tale about the fragility of moral boundaries in the face of fear and ambition. It compels us to remember that the pursuit of knowledge and security must always be balanced with compassion, respect, and a steadfast commitment to human dignity. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to and join us at Panic Butter if you have not already done so, then turn on notifications. Have a great day.
Pretty cool, but you know, it's government. They always have your best interest at heart, then and now. So they say. But as he said, if you haven't already, join us. Have a good day.
Thank you.